Well, hello there, and welcome back to Unstuck and Friggin' Fabulous, the podcast for ambitious women ready to ditch doubt, get out of their own way, and create a life that feels bold, beautiful, and fully aligned. This is episode number 67, and I am your host, Irene Lidvall, confidence and mindset coach. And today, we are going to talk about something that I think every woman secretly wants. And what could that be? Well, I think it is to become unbothered. You know, unbothered doesn't mean that you are rude or cold or bitter or emotionally shut down. No. No, an unbothered woman is calm. She's grounded. She's clear. She's powerful, anchored in herself. And she doesn't lose herself in drama. She doesn't spiral over nonsense. And she doesn't need to attend every argument she's invited to. And honestly, I'm sure we all have met her because that kind of energy is magnetic. You know that woman, right? You know the one I'm talking about. She walks into a room and you sure can feel it because she has a calmness around her. She's secure and she is not desperate for validation. And she doesn't explain herself to death. And people react to her. Why? Because she respects herself. Now let me say this. Most women are not exhausted because life is hard, but they're exhausted because they are emotionally available for everything. And then everything bothers them, affects them. Every opinion matters, and every text message means something, and every mood shift in another person becomes their responsibility. Now, that is exhausting, isn't it? But today we are changing that. Today we are talking about the 4 things an unbothered woman never does. And if you can master these 4 things, I promise you, your life will change. So, are you ready? Let's get into it. So, unbothered women don't chase validation. This is a big one because unbothered women do not constantly need approval. They don't shape shift to be liked. They don't overperform to be chosen. And they don't exhaust themselves trying to win everyone over. They know something. They know something powerful. Not everyone has to understand me, like me, approve of me, or agree with me. Now, my friend, that is real freedom. But we are human beings. Because a bothered woman, she would ask, do they like me? Did I say the wrong thing? Why are they quiet? Did I offend them? Should I explain myself? An unbothered woman, she says something like this. Do I like me? Was I honest? Was I aligned? And that is a huge difference. And let's be honest, so many women were raised to be so-called good girls, right? Be nice. Don't upset anyone. Keep the peace. Make people comfortable, even if it costs yourself. So now as adults, many women are terrified of disapproval. But hey, listen carefully. You will never become powerful while being addicted to approval. I'll say that again. You will never become powerful while being addicted to approval. Because if someone's opinion controls you, now what does that equal to? It says that they own you. But an unbothered woman, they have their own back. and they take their power back. They won't let anyone own them. So just stop it. Don't do it. And if you do it, we all do from time to time, just be aware of when or how it happens and what triggers you. So, an unbothered woman, she doesn't over-explain. Oh, ladies, this one. Why do we do this? Why do we write essays when one sentence would do? Sorry, I can't come because then a 14-page explanation follows. Unbothered women don't do that. They understand this. Like a clear response does not require a detailed defense. You can say, no, that doesn't work for me. I've decided to do something different, or I'm unavailable. Simple as that. And you just stop there because you don't have to have a whole TED talk to over-explain why you couldn't do what you felt you needed to. And then you start the over-explaining. But listen, over-explaining comes from fear. And usually it's fear of disappointing the other person or of being misunderstood or upsetting someone. And we don't want to do that, right? But here's the truth, my darling. Over-explaining often signals insecurity. It says, I need you to approve of my decision. And what does that make you? It makes you rely on their decisions. You're giving your power away again. So don't do that. An unbothered woman, she does not need permission because they trust themselves. And let's be honest here. Some people ask questions not because they care. Big difference here. But because they want to have access to you. They want to pick your brain, figure out if they can use you, manipulate you, or whatever. And maybe they want your energy. They want to have access to your choices and to your boundaries. And you know what? Not everyone deserves that. Privacy is power. You don't owe anyone a full explanation of your life. Listen, that is not rude. That is quite mature. An unbothered woman, she does not take everything personally, and neither should you. This one will change your life, though, darling. Most of what people do is about them, not you. It's about their moods, reaction, coldness, criticism, or projections. Usually, it's their inner world spilling out right in front of you. But bothered women absorb everything. Someone is short with them, oh, they spiral out. And if someone doesn't text back, they spiral out. And someone looks annoyed, oh dear, what have I done wrong? Did I do something wrong? Maybe. But probably not. And even if you did, you can handle it, right? Unbothered women don't make everything about themselves. They do understand something really profound, that other people's behavior often reveals the other person's emotional state, not your worth. And that is a game changer. Imagine how peaceful life becomes when you stop making everything mean something about you. Someone unfollows you, okay, let them. And someone doesn't choose you, okay, let them. And someone misunderstands you, that's all fine. That's on them, not on you. And it doesn't automatically become a crisis for you. Not everything requires emotional labor. Sometimes the most powerful response is, interesting, and you just move on. So unbothered women don't abandon themselves. And this is the heart of everything. The most unbothered women I know, they stay with themselves. They don't leave themselves to keep someone else happy. And this matters because so many women abandon themselves daily. And it's so sad because little by little you chip away, and before you know it, you're totally lost. And, it's by ignoring your intuition and suppressing your feelings daily and move your boundaries and accept shitty treatment. And they stay silent when something feels wrong instead of speaking up and saying, no, I don't like that. Why are you doing this to me? Or why? Why? Because most of us, we fear loss of love, connection, and approval. But here's the hard truth, my darling. Every time you abandon yourself, you lose something far more important. It is, yes, you guessed it, you lose self-trust. And once self-trust goes, anxiety rises, overthinking rises, neediness rises. Because deep down, you're no longer safe with yourself when you abandon yourself. Because unbothered women, they feel deeply, but they trust themselves deeply too. They know, I will not betray myself to keep anyone. And that is power. That is peace. And that is freedom for you. So why unbothered women are so powerful? Now let's talk about why this matters. Because being unbothered isn't about acting cool. It's about emotional mastery. It's about no longer living at the mercy of everyone around you. Because if your peace depends on who texts you back and who chooses you or who approves of you and who behaves the way you want, you will always feel unstable. Always. Always. Because unbothered women, they create internal stability. Their peace becomes your peace, and their peace comes from within. And that changes totally everything. Because when you do that, relationships improve, confidence rises, and boundaries actually strengthen, and nervous systems calms down. And it's catching. And here's the beautiful thing. It all becomes very magic and magnetic. Not because you are performing, but because you are grounding yourself. And people feel that, my darling. So how do we become more unbothered? And I'll leave you with this. This week, I want you to catch yourself. Where are you getting bothered? Ask yourself, am I chasing approval? Or am I over-explaining myself, and when? And am I taking things personally when I don't have to? And where am I abandoning myself? That is awareness. And that awareness alone changes everything. And here's a mantra for you. So I want you to say this with me. I do not need to react to everything. I do not need to prove myself to everyone. I do not need to abandon myself for love. And again, let's do this again. I do not need to react to everything. I do not need to prove myself to everyone. And I do not need to abandon myself for love. That, my darling, is unbothered energy. So, my beautiful one, if today's episode hit home, I want you to remember this. Being unbothered doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop caring about the things that drain your power. Massive difference. So protect your peace and your energy and protect your self-respect. Because the strongest woman isn't the loudest. And they are not loud. They aren't reactive. And they certainly are not chaotic. Because, as I said earlier, they are grounded. And grounded women are dangerous in the best possible way. They know who they are and know I can shake that easily. So, with that, I love you and thank you for being here with me. And I want to thank you for supporting me. And if this episode resonated with you, I would like you to share it with a woman who needs to hear it as well. And as always, stop shrinking, stop waiting, stop abandoning yourself, get unstuck and get friggin' fabulous. And have a wonderful weekend.